Hey, chess fans. This is a game between Eric Hansen from Canada and Luis Fernando Ibarra Chami from Mexico. It was a really special tournament this game was played in. It was the 40th Olympiad, and Eric Hansen became a Grandmaster after that tournament. So really special for Canadian chess fans. So I found a couple of good lessons in this ending. So let's take up the action here. Louis plays to c4, which is a very logical, natural move. Let's attack the piece of greater value, the rook. Eric comes up with a really clever move here to get out of trouble with his rook, and that's counterattack. So he's using a pawn to attack the queen, which is a more valuable piece. So after the retreat of the queen, there's this really clever tactic. Bishop takes pawn. So looks like since the bishop is undefended, the queen could just take it for free. But actually, that leads to white taking the rook for free, which was undefended. So really neat tactic. So because of this, instead in the game, Louis just takes the rook. And then when Eric recaptures, now he's defending the bishop. So everything is working now. So I'll show you how the game ended in a couple of different scenarios. After this move check, Eric moves his king to safety, and Louis moves the queen back. This is what happened in the game. Now, I want to go over what would have happened if Louis wanted to become even with material and take this pawn. It's sometimes you got to be careful when the queens are on the board in what we call pawn grabbing, because now look at how out of the action the queen is, because it's blocked by this pawn, and there's no checks. Eric's king is completely safe, but look at this poor king. This king is not safe because this queen is going to be able to maneuver and attack. So let's just look at a possible line here that possibly could have happened. Rook here, king here, and then look at all of this trouble that the the black king is in. This bishop now is just completely blocks off the queen, and the queen can't really do much around here. So it's a lot of trouble. If he goes and takes another pawn, well then it's checkmate in three. If he doesn't take the other pawn, and maybe just move the queen to d1, we've got this check, 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 and now after this move here, the there's a skewer on the queen. So, and actually it's interesting. The computer doesn't even say taking the queen is the fastest way. Just sort of block off the queen, and now after this move, we've got we've got checkmate. So that's a real illustration of sometimes of why in the game this grandmaster did not grab the pawn, instead retreated, because the safety of the king was more important than this pawn. So that's the main lesson after all that. Sometimes the safety of your vulnerable king is going to be much more valuable than a pawn, even if you're down a pawn. Okay, so that's why Louis retreated the queen, and Eric played this move here, putting pressure down here. Again, another move that would be bringing the queen over to help your vulnerable king. Louis is in big trouble, and Eric is a very strong player. But in some of your games, you might be able to survive a position like this by with moves like this, bringing your queen back to help out your vulnerable king. Now, I'll go through in the game. Eric takes the pawn and makes some maneuvering, and after this move, there was a resigned. Sorry, after this move. This is where Louis resigned. So I mean, he could see far enough to know that going to lose this game. However, I probably wouldn't have resigned here myself against an opponent of equal value to myself. So how would you win this game if you were Eric? If Black didn't resign. So let's say Black plays this move here. There's this really neat pawn sacrifice. It's only temporary, but after here, you trade these pawns, and now you have, look at this really nice tactic. Check. Only one move for the king is right here. And then after that, check. And then you're picking up the bishop. So, there's nice tactics like that. I mean, Black will get the pawn back, but then after that, there's this move here, and Black doesn't have much better than to, let the trade of queens come. And so now White has still got to win this game. I mean, if you haven't studied a lot of endings, this might be a challenging endgame to win, because this pawn is a passed pawn, and so you've still got to think, you still got to calculate here. So first move that I would play would be bishop here, just saying that Black shouldn't play the pawn up 2 right now, or you're going to lose it. So naturally, Black is going to bring the king into the mix, and I really like this bishop here now, because what we're going to do, we're going to force Black to give up this pawn. What Black wants to do right now is hang on to this pawn, because if he hangs on to this pawn, then these pawns are going to have a harder time queening. Black's only chance is to hang on to this pawn here. But Black has to move every you always have to take your move in chess. So we're going to get Black in a situation of Zugzwang. I've done a couple of videos on what Zugzwang is, and basically it's when your opponent has to move, but every move for them is bad. So just watch what you would do. You would play this move here, and because the bishop is guarding these squares, the king has no way to move and still defend here. So he's forced to just let his pawn run down the board. And now he forced his pawn to go all the way back there, and now Black doesn't have any extra moves. Black is still in Zugzwang. So after, now it's Black's move, and Black has to give up this pawn. So, moving away and a capture here. And now these pawns are going to be able to march down the board. I mean, we'll take this pawn, march the pawns down the board, and promote one of them, and then a queen and helper checkmate, or with the queen, with the king or the bishop. So I have some other videos on the queen and pawn ending if you like it. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and great shout out to Eric for being a great chess ambassador. Thank you for watching.